8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, I am Mr. Materialist. And yes, you are free to call me that. And that's the name of my channel, too. I was motivated to produce this channel by two major things. First, I got really annoyed that child poverty and poverty in general are not being resolved despite nations like the United States and other large nations, especially the West, spending billions on weapons that kill people instead of spending those large sums of money on helping resolve the material needs of every human being on earth. What are these material needs? Food, shelter, clothing, proper sanitation, access to clean water, etc., etc. For the first time in world history, we have enough monetary resources to remove poverty from this world completely. But we don't do this. What stands in the way? One is this idea that material needs are not that important, or spiritual needs are more important. People have been told to despise materialism or being a materialist. We are told it is bad. We are told to be spiritual, whatever that means. But how does being spiritual feed a hungry child? How does it ensure that a child has access to clean water? These are just examples, by the way. There are many things I can ask here. All the conflicts in the world are based on material things. For example, the Gaza-Palestinian war is based on land, which is material. There are also economic factors, which are also material. In fact, everything that we're talking about in the Gaza war is material. We humans are material. When we count casualties, we don't count spiritual things. We just count physical things, material things. That's it. Second, reading the book by this gentleman, Robert Sapolsky, called Determined, has strengthened my ideas on materialism. To summarize, Sapolsky states that everything we do is determined. He advocates a society that is free from the ideas of free will. There is no free will. I believe him on that thing. There is no such thing as free will. Ask yourself this question. How do you decide to decide? How can you choose to romantically love someone that you don't love? Ask yourself those questions. I bet you can't. You can't romantically love somebody you don't love. I don't think you can do that. But maybe you can comment on it. Understanding Sapolsky's ideas would make our world a much better place. It would make us more empathetic to others. For example, he speaks about how our prefrontal cortex can affect our decision-making process. In addition, a more controversial issue for some is he writes about removing the prison or jail system and replacing it with a quarantine system. In the future, I will talk about that, but it will, in my view, make us a better world to live in. It will make us a much more just world than it is right now, which is kind of punitive and, I must be honest, reptilian-like in some cases. Our judicial system is very punitive and Stone Age-like, I would say, with no understanding of human psychology and human neurology, or taking into consideration somebody's prefrontal cortex and the impact of the environment on them. So we're going to talk a lot about this in the future. I will also delve further into other topics and try to resolve them using a materialistic framework. The understanding of the world and its solutions must be grounded in material reality. This perspective is a pragmatic approach to tackling the pressing issues of our time. So, what is materialism? What is it? Materialism, in its essence, is the belief that everything that exists is physical, that our experience and the world around us are rooted in the material. This worldview insists on evidence, reason, and scientific understanding as the basis for our actions and solutions. Materialism, being a materialist, is being practical. It is practicality. When we look at the problems facing our world today, such as child poverty and extreme poverty, the materialist perspective is not just relevant, it is crucial, it is important. Let's see why. I hate to go back into child poverty, but I have to do that because this is very important to insist on the importance of having a materialist perspective when resolving world problems. Child poverty is a heart-wrenching issue that affects millions of children globally. These children lack access to basic necessities like food, clean water, shelter, and education. This means implementing policies that ensure economic stability, access to healthcare, and educational opportunity. Consider the root causes of child poverty: lack of access to resources and systemic inequalities in some countries. All these things are material in nature. A materialist outlook recognizes that these are tangible problems requiring tangible solutions. It's not enough to rely on abstract ideas or moral exhortations. We need concrete actions backed by empirical evidence. Actions speak louder than words. For example, studies show direct cash transfers to impoverished families significantly improve conditions and opportunities for their children. By focusing on material solutions, we can create measurable change. Similarly, extreme poverty, which affects over 700 million people worldwide, demands a materialistic response. Over the next episodes, I will be addressing issues of poverty issues that have to do with materialistic needs. Materialistic needs can only be addressed by materialistic solution. You can't go to a child and offer them spirit. I'm sorry, not even prayers work. Okay? You go to a child who's hungry, needs food, and say, let me pray for you. It doesn't work out. Okay? That's actually in the Bible, in the book of James, if you read it. So I do think that solutions have to be concrete. They have to be on point. We cannot have what we have right now, which is this kind of wishy-washy world that we wish for. It's a privilege to talk about spiritual matters and even say to yourself, oh yeah, let me talk about my faith, my religion. That's a privilege. I'm not gonna lie. Being spiritual and being able to talk about it and not worry about what are you gonna eat the following day, or yeah, you might worry about your bills a little bit, but you know you're gonna eat. You know you have something to eat. That's something. What is needed is concrete solutions. We need to be talking about concrete solutions, not just going out there and talking or distributing food, but actually changing policy so that more people can be lifted out of poverty. War is bad. War is bad because it destroys material wealth and destroys people's lives. If you look at the Palestinian-Gaza war, that is bad because it's just not only destroying property and material for people, it's destroying lives. That's why it's bad. Any sort of war in the world, the war in Sudan, the war in Myanmar, the wars in the Congo, and many other wars that I may have not mentioned that come across here, are all materialistic. They are based on material needs. The source is material, and they destroy material wealth, which negatively impacts the people. Many people dying from hunger and disease and all sorts of other problems. So that is why I have this channel, is to talk about materialism. Because materialism has had this negative attitude from people. Oh, you're materialist. Materialism is bad. Materialism. You can't just do materialism. Materialism is this. Materialism is that. And I'm like, wait a second, mate. Wait a second. Where do you go when you're sick? Because I go to the hospital when I'm really sick. Okay? I go and get some medicine. Right? And that medicine has a material impact on my body. When I drink ibuprofen because I have some backache or a toothache, I expect the ibuprofen to have a material impact on my body so that I can get better. So that's what I'll be talking about in this channel. Thank you for watching all, and good day, good night, good evening, good morning for some if you're watching it this morning. Thank you. Please do like, subscribe, comment, share. Thank you.